Assetz Capital is a new group of companies we've set up to deal with two things. The very low rate of return on savings in bank accounts for investors, and the alternative side is to help, in a small way, improve the potential for GDP economic growth in the UK by funding businesses and funding property developers. How Assetz Capital achieves those aims and how it works is by putting quality borrowers in touch with cash-rich investors who want a good rate of return on their money, but good security for that money whilst the money is lent out. And we run that through a web platform through Assetz Capital Co. UK. Lenders participate in a syndicated loan to a borrower, whether that's a quality business or a developer, and they receive a return on that investment in the form of interest, and we take security through the trust account. Our trustees are Grant Thornton. They handle the money, and it's a very straightforward process. The money goes out to the borrower, the security comes into the trust, held on behalf of all the lenders for the duration of the loan. The Assetz Capital model is literally cutting out the banks. It's a fantastic time for investors to switch money out of savings accounts and put it into direct lending through this system, through the Assetz Capital platform. What it allows people to do is earn a much fairer rate of return on their interest, a return that currently the banks are pocketing to put into profits, which helps rebuild their balance sheets, which they lost by gambling. So what we're seeing here is the investors taking those profits themselves that the banks are otherwise going to put into their own balance sheets. Our team is very high profile. We have Paul Moore, who's well known as the H-Boss whistleblower, stood up in front of the Select Treasury Committee on banking and disclosed all of the risks that were being taken by the banks in the boom years, risks he warned about, and for his troubles he was fired. The banks wanted to carry on making big profits and selling. He was warning that the banks were going to explode, and that's exactly what happened. So something has to change, and the government itself is behind this type of peer-to-peer lending. It's committed £100 million so far to be lent out directly to businesses alongside private investors on peer-to-peer platforms. This is government endorsement, and we see new regulation for this sector coming in a year's time. Very much something the government wants to see grow, and very much something our investors like, given that we've got, as of today, around 100 million offered on the platform to be lent out. And we think there's around £1 billion of capital in our customer base looking for a home that isn't bricks and mortar, and that's something else. We're lending to three different categories currently. We're lending to businesses with good security, ideally property security for that loan, and probably achieving in the range of 8 to 15% return for lenders per annum as an interest rate. We're lending to property developers with typically around 50% loan to value on the completed scheme, with a first charge security, and with around a 10% income stream for that year for the investor. Quite an innovative product is non-status buy-to-let mortgages, in particular with overseas borrowers. So an oil worker working out in Kazakhstan would find it next to impossible to get a buy-to-let mortgage here in the UK. They might be cash rich, but they're not very amused about having to buy for cash. Given the increasing rate of house price growth we're now seeing, they'd like a bit of gearing. So we're offering quality borrowers on very good quality property that we at Assetz will have vetted already, a 5% income stream to a lender who wants to participate in providing that mortgage on that buy-to-let property. So 50% loan to value, very safe, first charge security, 5% income stream, and that overseas buyer can then put their 50% deposit down in cash, and they can buy the property, and everybody's happy. Basically getting Britain lending again.